Hello everyone, this is Sincere of Teacher Sincere's channel and welcome. This is the final video in my series on language learning. Here I will present more examples of resources that you can utilize in your language study. The examples that I will show or mention here are just a few that I am familiar with and are only a tiny pool of the resources that you can use. Please do web searches to locate more information and tools to help you in learning. So, without further ado, let's wrap up this series. So first I want to start with the area of books, okay? These are books that are both online and that are also books that you can also purchase as well in paperback. Now, the first International Children's Digital Library is an online. It's an online website, and it contains hundreds of books for children, basically from young children up to younger teenagers. Some of the books are quite old. Over 100 years old, and then some books are quite new. I'm going to show you an example of one of the newer books. Now, why would you want to use children's books? Well, in one of the previous videos, I mentioned the importance of reading when you are learning a new language. Okay, and children's books are a great place to start when you want to build up your vocabulary. I had mentioned also that back a number of years ago when I was teaching here in my hometown, I was talking to a student, and his family was either from a Central or South American country, and he was checking out books from the library, and he said that this was an elementary school, so this was a younger child, and he said that he would not only read the books, but he would share them with his parents, who would use the books to try to learn English. I'm going to show you an example of a book on Internet Children's Digital Library that is in a dual language, in English and another language. So there are hundreds of books on the website, but there are also books in other languages. So if you are learning a particular language, you might be able to find a book or some books on the website that would be able to help you to improve your the language that you are trying to learn. Then there are short story readers on Amazon. Now, these short story readers are books. They come in paperback, or you can also get them on Kindle. And some of them are also, I believe, on Audible as well, which is the audiobook service for Amazon. So I'm going to show you an example of one of these books, which is from the Teach Yourself short story series. Now, I don't think it's connected to the Teach Yourself series, which I have listed next. But they might be, but I don't think so. Now, the Teach Yourself series has actually been around for quite a while. They've been around, I think they first came out in 1938. And when I first became familiar with them, I would see them at the bookstore. They would be in the language section, and they would be like a little kit. They would have like in a little kit, like plastic kit, where you have the book, and you would have back a number of years back cassette tapes. It would come like 2 cassette tapes, and then later it would come with the book and the CDs. Okay, but it's a series, and it actually has its website. And so now on the website they actually have the MP4, MP5 files of the material that's in the books. Okay, so everything that I'm going to mention in this video, I'm also going to put in the list in the description, so you can go to the links for all of this, and it will all be in the description. Now, another one is the Berlitz Phrase Books and Dictionary. The Berlitz Phrase Books are little pocket-sized books. They've been around for quite some time, and they are sort of set up like the Teach Yourself series of books. They start out giving you sort of information about the history of the language, where it's spoken, and then it goes on after that, which is different from the Teach Yourself books. It goes on and has a lot of practical situations with like sentences that you can learn. Okay, then at the end of the book you have a dictionary and like English and whatever the language is that you are studying the book is about. I do want to go back and mention on the Teach Yourself series how they are actually formatted. Is you start out every chapter begins with like a dialogue and a practical situation. Say, for example, you are shopping at the store, and maybe you're talking to the store clerk about a certain product that you want to buy. So you will have a dialogue, and then you would listen to the dialogue on the CD. And then after the dialogue, there are vocabulary words, some questions that you would answer about what you had just read, and then there was a lesson on grammar. And so that's basically how all the chapters were set up, and it would progress. At the end of the book, you would find the answers to the exercises, and also some other extra useful information, such as a dictionary. Okay, so I'm going to move on now and take you to the Internet Children's Digital Library. Okay, so this is the homepage of Internet Children's Digital Library. And it is this page is hosted by the University of Maryland here in the United States. And if you look here in the center, in this green space here, you will have the listings of the types of books that you would look for. Okay, you have a book list, and then you have books by language, books by color, books by shape, and so on. Okay, let's go to books by language, and you will see here the languages listed. You have the languages listed with how the number of books that is in the particular language. Okay, now the majority of the books are in just one language, okay? But there are a few, if you look here, that are in two different languages, okay? Some in, here's one I see actually in 5 different languages, okay? So let's click on this one here. Number 12 has English, French, German, Italian, Japanese, and Spanish. Let's look at that one and see what it is. It's called Where's the Bear? Okay, Where's the Bear? So let's click on it and see if it will open up. Okay. All right. So this is like the little page with the synopsis of the book. Okay. It tells you what language it is, who created the book, who illustrated it, when it was published, and everything. Okay. All right. So I'm going to click, and you have the little thumbnail of the cover. And in the case of this book, you can read it on with the Internet Children's Digital Library Reader. There are some books on here actually that you can read in PDF, so you can actually download those books if you like. Okay. All right. So I don't know how legal that is, but okay. All right. So let's look here now. I've clicked on it and opened up the book. All right. So they have thumbnails here of the pages. Okay, you can see all the pages, and I'm going to click at the beginning. So let's click at the beginning and see if it opens. Okay, all right, so it's called Where's the Bear? Okay, a look and find book. All right, so let's see how it goes. Okay, it's like some of the old old art from long time, centuries ago. So here it is. Where's the Bear? The home title page. I'll keep clicking and checking to see if everything is showing up okay, so you can see it. Yeah, about the book. Okay, so let's see about the languages. Oh, okay, so you have here, Where's the Deer? Okay, and then you have some languages here: French, German, Italian, Japanese, Spanish. Where's the Deer? Okay, all right, here they have here, Where's the Deer? And let's see, there's a wild boar. Okay, all right, let's keep going and see more about the languages. This is a really simple book. Okay, pig. Okay, so this is pig, wild boar. Looks like a wild boar at least. And then you have the words up for pig in the languages here on the left. Okay. All right, and swan. So this is a very simple one here, okay? Very, very simple book. There's swan in the different languages. Okay. Now, there are other books on here. This is very, very basic, like for very young children. Okay. But I have actually read one about the boy. I think it was called The Boy Who Didn't Know His Name. Let's see, can I go back and find it? Let's go back to the home page and see if it works. Okay, let's go back to the home page and quickly, because I don't want to spend talk too long on this. I actually read one in Spanish, English, and there are 7 books in Spanish and English. And the one I read was called The Boy Without a Name, or El Niño Sin Nombre. Okay, and then here's the information about it, the synopsis. I'm going to click on the e-reader, and here are all the pages. Okay, and here is the cover art. Okay, and I'm going to click through quickly so you can see that the book is actually is in English and Spanish. Okay, so this book is actually set in an imaginary Arab country. It doesn't say where. Okay, it's and you have here, you had the English previously, and this is the Spanish. Okay, all right, so there's English. You can see the art was quite nice in here, English, and then here it is in Spanish, the translation. Okay, so that is International Children's Digital Library, rather. I'm sorry. Okay, all right. So let's continue on. All right. I wanted to also show you one of the books from the books on Amazon, and there are a number of them under different publishers and different authors that are short story books that you can use to study a language. Okay, so this one, this series of books is a big group of them written by an author called Ollie Richards. This is his page. Okay, and so I'm going to scroll down and I'm going to go to short stories in French for beginners. Okay, so this is one of his books. Okay, French for beginners. All right, short stories in French for beginners. Okay, now these types of books, Ollie Richards books, and then there's also a publisher called Lingo Mastery, and there are also possibly more as well. There are actually more of these types of books. Okay, they go in different levels, like beginner and then intermediate, and there may be advanced, but I haven't looked at it, looked into that. But these books have basically the same sort of format. Okay, they have short story, and then you read the short story, then they have vocabulary. They have maybe a summary after of the story, maybe sometimes in English, maybe sometimes in the language that you are studying. And then they have vocabulary, and then they have some questions, possibly like multiple choice questions. Okay, so let's look at this one, short stories in English. This is for beginners. Okay, all right, so let's look at it and see a little bit from the preview page, what it's kind of set up like. Okay, all right, so we have here the introduction. Okay, let's see if I can get it to scroll down. And it talks a little bit about, there are some illustrations in the book, how to read effectively, give you some advice on that. And then if you scroll down after that, you see here a picture, an illustration, and here's the story here in English, and I mean in French, not English. Okay, scroll on down, a little short story. Then they have like a review of the story, a summary, and then they have vocabulary with the French and then the English translation. And then they have some multiple choice questions in French. And then after that, you have another story. Okay. So these types of books come in paperback, Kindle. They're quite affordable. Some of them, I saw one of them on his page was only $1.99. Generally, from what I've seen on with these books by Ollie Richards and also by the Lingo Mastery, they run the Kindle books run like $6.99, $5.99, some $4.99, some of the books. And even if you don't have a Kindle, you can download the app on your phone, on your computer, your tablet, and you can actually buy the books that way instead of ordering them in paperback. Some of the books, if not all, I believe, are also on Audible, which is the audio service for the audio books on Amazon as well. All right. Here I'm not going to show any of the websites. You can look at them on their own. I'm not going to give any kind of demo. But here I will just talk briefly about each one of these websites. Okay, italki is a language website where over 150 languages are taught. Okay, so this is like a huge website with a huge amount of tutors on it. And generally, how italki works is you look for the language that you want to learn, and then you seek out a tutor on the website. Some of the tutors give a free trial lesson. The first lesson is free, and then others maybe might ask you to pay like $5 for the first lesson. And then if you like your experience, you can go back and you can start paying hourly. Okay, maybe some, and it varies per tutor, so you can sort of shop around on the website and see what is within your budget. Now edX is a good website, but the drawback of edX is this: they don't teach a lot of languages regularly. Okay, edX comes out with different language courses periodically. But the one good thing about if you use edX, you have to go back and forth and sort of check from time to time to see what they're offering, because the courses on edX actually comes from various universities around the world, some of them top universities around the world. Okay, so you have to check from time to time to see what they are actually offering. And you could the courses, they used to be free, that if you want a certificate from that, say if you want to take a course from like Berkeley University, you would pay like $45 for the certificate. Okay, you take the course and just pay $45 for the certificate. The course is free. Now, from the little bit that I've searched around on the website, some of the courses are running a little over $100. Okay, so but and then they offer degrees on edX as well. Now, Udemy has a number of languages that they teach, not a huge amount, but you buy the course on Udemy. A lot of their courses run about maybe $14.99, $16.99. So they're very affordable. And you can look for the languages. I think I've checked recently on Udemy. Most of the languages they're teaching are pretty, pretty common languages that you have, like French, Spanish, things like that. I think they have Arabic on there, but they don't have a wide range. Okay, but they are quite affordable. Now, Cambly Kids. Now, I teach on Cambly. Okay, I teach on the platform. Now, Cambly is not as affordable as the others. Okay, Cambly, it depends on how many minutes you want. You get a Cambly subscription, and how long a lesson do you want? Do you want a 15-minute lesson? Do you want a 30-minute lesson? Do you want an hour lesson? And it's like monthly subscriptions. So they are not very cheap. Okay, but if you want to have a live tutor, okay, so the advantages of italki and Cambly, or if you have a child, Cambly Kids, for these websites, these platforms, you actually can have a live tutor. Okay, now Cambly Kids is for ages. If you want your child to learn English, and that's another thing too with Cambly. Cambly, unlike italki, only teaches English. Okay, but if you have a child, Cambly Kids teaches kids ages 5 to 14. There are also children on regular Cambly. Regular Cambly is more for adults. They have things like business English. I've taught like IELTS, the standardized exams for university, like TOEFL, and IELTS, which is like for university and immigration and for jobs. I teach business English on there, along with just conversational English and other things. So that's the only thing about Cambly. It's English, but if you want to learn English, it is great for non-native English speakers. Cambly also, there was an article written up in Forbes magazine last year talking about Cambly being one of the impressive language startups. Yeah, so I would recommend these websites as well. Now, if you're not into reading longer works such as books, or if you don't want to read short stories, you're not into fiction, you can actually go to news websites. Now, I will admit I'm not familiar with news websites for language learners. I'm not familiar with a lot of those in different languages. I am familiar with a number of them, though, in English, because that's what I teach. Okay. So I have listed 4 in English. I've used three of them, okay, and one of them Arabic, okay. So Ingu Daily News is a website, is actually connected to an online platform called Ingu. I think it comes out of Japan, and my colleagues and I on Cambly, we actually use the Ingu Daily News website for students that want to do reading. Okay, people, I've had students read books, stories, different things with me. But Ingu is good for like daily news. They update the website every day. Every day you get current news, and I'm going to give you a quick demonstration of what it looks like. Okay. Then there's ESL news stories. Okay. And these websites like this, they don't just have the articles. They also have things like vocabulary. They have questions at the end that you can do questions with the students. So they're good websites. Now, Ingu Daily News, ESL News Stories, News and Levels, and Breaking News English are all in English. So they're for English learners. But Easy Arabic News is for Arabic learners. Okay. So what I would suggest, if you are learning a language different from English, okay, look for so you could type in, maybe do a web search saying newspaper articles and vocabulary and questions in, say, German. Okay. And then see what you can come up with. That's what I did with Easy Arabic News. I actually looked for Arabic newspaper. I think I did like a search of Arabic newspaper for Arabic learners. Okay. And then I came up with this website, which is specifically for people who are learning Arabic. Okay. All right. So I'm going to give you a quick demonstration of Ingu Daily News. And now this is the homepage to Ingu Daily News. Okay. And you can see these are articles. They update the articles daily, okay? And the articles tend to be in intermediate to advanced language. They don't have beginner level here, okay? But I've noticed that the intermediate is not that very difficult. I would probably rank it as probably being pre-intermediate, but this is the home page, okay? And the ones up here at the top are the most recent articles, okay? So let's look at this one here. Japanese scientists create mice with cells from two. This is science and technology, and they have different topics: entertainment, science, technology. It covers like global news. Okay, so let's look and see exactly what's on here. Okay, all right. Here's the article: Japanese scientists create mice with cells from two males. Okay. Oh my goodness. But yeah, I just wanted to basically show you how one of the articles would be set up. Okay, so you have the title, you have the vocabulary, and the student can click on the little icon for the sound and get the pronunciation of the word. They have the word, the vocabulary words. These are words in the article. They have the meaning, and then they have the sentence, the word used in the sentence, and then you have the article. So it reads the article, and then they have discussion questions, further discussion, and that's that. So usually this would cover like a 30-minute lesson. Okay, so to wrap it up, I'm going to talk briefly about these two websites. Okay, the first is Conversation Exchange. Now, Conversation Exchange is free. I do think that there are some features on there that you can pay for. But basically what Conversation Exchange is that you find someone that you do a language exchange with. Okay, you can do a search on the website. and then you can pair up with someone in another country, or someone who is willing to do a language exchange. Say for example, someone speaks Vietnamese and they want to do an exchange with you with English. Okay. Also, they have like pen pal service as well. So yeah, it's also a very good way and an affordable way to learn English, or learn another language, not just English, but another language. Okay. I'm recording this late, so, and I've been working all day. So my mind is beginning to drift off again. And the second is EF Educational Tours. Now, I worked briefly for EF, which used to be called Education First. Now, they offer immersion tours. They offer different types of tours. They have different tours, okay? And so you have to check. I tried to look at the pricing. They do have on their chat immersion tours going to other countries. Okay. They are going to be the most expensive of all. Okay. But if you can afford it, they are very much worth it. So I've come to the conclusion of my series on language learning. Okay. So I hope you enjoyed this series, and I took you from the beginning to the end. Okay. So do your due diligence and look for materials that you feel that are suited to you. I do feel, though, however, that the resources that I have presented here are quite good. Okay. And I'm going to put the links to everything that I've mentioned in this video in the description. Okay. All right. So thank you for viewing this video, and I'm going to end here. So this is Sincere. Until next time.